Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin.
I'm also Dustin.
And today we have two amazing guests with us from a phenomenal podcast. Ladies, if you want to introduce yourselves.
I am Anna, aka the Scream Queen.
I am Hannah, aka the Gore Gal.
And
we are
what
from Cinema
podcast
Slab.
are you guys from?
Cinema Slab.
Hell yeah.
Slab.
Hell yeah.
Cinema Slab podcast, whatever you want, just make that decision before you ask which one you want to call them.
As long as Cinema Slab's in there, we're good.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And we got a wicked fun one today. And what also is really fun about this is when Dustin said that, hey, we could potentially get you guys on, I was like, okay, have them pick the movie. And you guys brought a film that I did cover, but I'm going through kind of like revamping and re-reviewing things. So I'm so happy you did this one, because Brain Damage is what we're doing today. And I love Brain Damage. I think it's been almost 2 years since I talked about this, and I rewatched it. And when you're watching movies, you kind of pick up on things more than you did the first time. You're like, oh man, I wish I talked about it then. Or having new eyes on it, like with you guys, and also Dustin being the new co-host in the chair over here, of going back, rewatching these films and going through it. So today we're talking about Brain Damage, and thank you for picking it, because this movie is a fucking blast.
Yeah,
let Hannah have all the glory. I let her pick. She was like, I really
Hell
want to
yeah.
watch Brain Damage. And I was like, let's do it. I don't care. You do pick whatever. I'm along for the ride.
For some reason, it had just hit my brain again. No pun intended.
there you go.
But,
Elmer's out there leaking blue liquid into your brain.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, because I had been wanting to cover it on our show, but I was like, they'll be fun to cover that with. So yeah, I was like, that'll be perfect for this podcast. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
So Anna and Hannah go back with me, not too far back. You guys were on the Flicks and Friends with Little Shop of Horrors, and then Dustin, I was just recently on their show for a movie that we all love, and it's 2013's Evil Dead.
Hell yeah.
Banger. And
yes,
you know
I
what?
agree.
I say, fuck Eric. There you go.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm super stoked you guys get to join me on this show as well, because it's just the love for horror is just, it's migrating. We're going from large scale puppets to 10-inch puppets with Elmer in this.
Yeah.
And
Literally.
Listen, we're gonna get to that. I cannot wait to dive into this movie. So Dustin, do you want to do the Rotten Tomatoes before we dig in?
Yeah, sure. You guys haven't looked at the Rotten Tomatoes scores yet, have you?
Don't
Don't lie.
And
I didn't know I wasn't supposed to.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you have, just don't guess. That's all. I mean, you can guess if you want to throw them off, but yeah,
I'll just stay out of it. Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who know, every time we do a movie now, we try to go and guess what the audience score is and what the critic score is. Sometimes we're pretty close, and sometimes we're way the hell off. So I'm really, really interested to see where you guys are going to land. So let's start with the critic score. Dustin, I'll have you go ahead and guess first. It's got 15 reviews on it.
15.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say 19.
Oh, okay. And what about you?
I'm gonna go 35.
Okay.
All right, drum roll. 67.
Wow, really?
I was
Oh my
shocked.
gosh!
It's not
$1
super fresh though.
shock.
Wow.
All right, and for the audience score, which has got more than 5,000 reviews on it.
Okay, Hannah, you can go first.
Okay,
That way I can
on
bid
this
$1
one,
more than you.
$1, Bob.
That's a,
Okay, I'll go 69.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, what about you, man?
I will say 76.
64. So
Hannah's the double winner. Sheesh.
it's a slightly above average film for critics and audience alike. So that's a good
Yeah,
thing
no
for a
kidding.
Frank Henenlotter film.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's
So,
anything else on here, like any info on budget, which it does not seem like it. No info on budget, but the original release date was April 22nd, 1988, and then it went to streaming April 25th on 2019. But that's like all that I have for information on Rotten Tomatoes. No budget or anything. But yeah.
Wow. So Hannah, give us your history with this movie. Like, why did you decide to pick Brain Damage?
So I want to say I watched it a few years back, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and
Okay.
I watched it because I believe it's on one of the In Search of Darkness. I'm not quite sure
It is.
which one it's on. I think there's like 4 parts now. And also one of the reasons why I think I watched it was because I loved Basket Case. I'm a huge Basket Case fan, and this is the same director. So I probably looked up his filmography and was like, oh, that sounds really cool, because I'm super into horror comedies. Dead Alive is my favorite horror movie of all time. So yeah, I love a good horror comedy, and this nails it for me. So yeah, and that's, I mean, it's gross, it's gory, it's got a great analogy for addiction. I mean, it's got it all. Like, the story's good, and yeah, the gore's good, it's funny. Elmer is great. Like, he's gross, but he's cute. I mean, yeah. And I can't what is the guy's name that voiced him? I think I wrote it down, but
Oh man, I always forget.
He's uncredited. He was uncredited.
He's uncredited.
I'm watching this for the first time, and all I can hear, he sounds a lot like Burl Ives from the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I'm like, no fucking way, that's the same person.
I know. Oh man, because I watched a video on it, and I could have sworn they said the guy's name.
Yeah, he's on IMDb at the very bottom.
Yeah, his voice is just so like calm and collected, but yeah, he's a freaking
John Zachary. So that's Zachary who voices him.
Okay, yeah, Zachary, that was it.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I picked Brain Damage, and I've been wanting Anna to watch this movie forever, and she hadn't watched it yet, so I knew she would have to watch it for this.
There you go, one way or another.
Yeah.
Dustin, when you said you hadn't watched it, I was like, oh, awesome. So yeah, I love showing people new movies. That's like, which, I mean, I think every cinephile loves to do that. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anna, tell us. It's already been announced that this was your first time, but tell us your first time experience with it.
Well, I actually watched it in 2 settings. Because I had stuff to do yesterday, or actually Hannah and I hung out. And I was like, what did I do? My days blend. But so I finished it this morning. And I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And yeah, I've really liked little Elmer. Even though he was evil, there's something about him that just makes you want to take some of his juice on your brain. Hell, I don't know. But I enjoyed it. And then those dried up old people that come with their gun looking for him, like, we need our fix. Yeah, there's a lot of great metaphors in this. I mean, and it's just right there in your face, but it worked for the story and what's all going on. So I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah. Dustin, let's hear it, man. What's your history with this movie?
So I've seen this movie, maybe like 5 or 6 times over the course of many years. And I refound out about it through Joe Bob, because he did an episode on this, and then In Search of Darkness they also covered it. So I was like, oh, that movie, because there was a time where I was watching a lot of Frank Henenlotter films, like Frankenhooker. You mentioned Basket Case, and he just has such a brilliant mind of like how he writes his scripts and everything. And this movie, I think, compared to all the other things that he put out, I think this is the most personal one that he did. So that's why I go back to this one a lot. And I love the colors in it. I think the acting, it's a bit over the top, but it's kind of meant to be. It's got the drug addiction thing in there, because this was written essentially about Frank himself being an addict of, I think it was like cocaine, I think it was, or meth. And cocaine's
a hell of a drug.
So he had Yeah. So he wrote the script and he put it together and it just I think it came out amazing. And I think if you haven't seen this, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you got to go watch it now.
Seriously.
It's on Tubi, people.
Yeah.
Tubi has given us so much, and it continues to give us so much. So go enjoy it.
Blessed be thy Tubi.
Oh yeah, man.
Brother.
I ended up getting because it's on Screambox. Because I ended up getting Screambox.
There you go.
Because,
is it?
Yeah,
it's on there.
Tubi wasn't working on my PS4 for some reason. Yeah, and so I saw it was on. I saw it was on Screambox. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So this was my first experience with it, and I had the same reaction when I got a message this morning about a particular scene, and when I was watching this, I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
Yeah.
But you guys are right. Like Elmer, he's charming. Like his little suave voice. That dude, that big ass goofy smile he has with them itty bitty eyes. I love it. It's so fucking wild.
It's like his whole head opens up because when his mouth opens up.
Yeah. You see the deadlights in there.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. But man, I loved it, and I loved all the scenarios that put this kid Brian. And we're gonna get into it, but dude, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. So this is definitely going to be a repeat. I probably want to find this on physical. Arrow put it out, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I would like to have it.
I need to snag it because I need to see any of the features. I want to see it cleaned up. Not that the version on Tubi was bad, because it wasn't. But I want to see Arrow style. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it was a ton of fucking fun, man. So Dustin, you got anything else before we dive in?
No, I think I'm ready to go. I really want to start diving into this and see where this landed with everybody and what you came out the other end with and what you thought of it. So I think we can pretty much just jump into spoilers. We just did our overall thoughts and whatnot for this. So I think if you want to go check out this movie before you listen to the rest of this podcast and listen to spoilers, please go do so, or stick around and then watch it after. I don't know, some people are weird and like to listen to spoilers before they watch a movie. That's that's up to them. So I guess we can just kind of go around the table and I guess we can start with you. If there's anything that you really want to pick at on this, or anything else you want to dive further into, let's go right ahead and do it.
Just say it. Just say it.
Well, we'll start off funny because I was the one who sent the message to Dustin and Hannah in the chat this morning, and I was like, I am deceased because when Elmer goes in her mouth and it's killing that girl that he's hooking up with in the alley that he meets.
It feels like you got a monster down there.
Yeah, right. There you go. Want? The shots leading up to that, I was like, they're gonna do it, aren't they? And then, sure enough, it happened. Yeah. It goes on forever, and it was shocking in all the best ways, and it was funny.
It was beautiful, and apparently, a lot of the crew when they were filming that, a lot of the crew left when all that shit was happening. They didn't want to watch it. Yeah. And that part was also cut out of the theatrical release. And a lot of the original home video release of this movie too, which is fucking bonkers because personally, it's the best kill in this movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really good ones. But that shit had, and then when Anna, when you said that shit, that had me fucking rolling because I had the same reaction to it because I was like, what the fuck is Elmer's 6 inch? I'm like, okay, you know what? All right.
So many metaphors, yeah.
Oh, yeah, not for just addiction.
Yeah. And
Brian
go ahead, Hannah.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, just keeping it funny for a second. Then Brian thinks he's just got jizz in his underwear and he goes to throw them away. And then he sees the blood in there and he's just like, what the heck?
What happened?
Dude, I feel like there's been a lot more blood, but
I think that's the first.
He the whole piece of her brain in there,
Yeah, I think that's the first time though that Brian realizes what's going on with the killings portion. because he doesn't remember the junkyard, which the junkyard scene is a ton of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Because we get to see the fluorescent colors. We watch him trip the fuck out, dude. And then that security guard walks up to him and he goes, "Hey," and Elmer just jumps on his forehead, dude. I love that effect. How it looked. It looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys like? Did it remind you of Night of the Creeps a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anytime I see a junkyard in a horror movie, I always lean towards 13 Ghosts.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, me too.
What is it? Nightmare 4?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to say that's another one. Yeah.
Well, Nightmare 3 when she. No, it is. It's 4 when with Freddy buried in the trunk of this fucking car.
Yeah, and the dog Jason digs him up, and that's what causes him to come back. Different movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another one you should go watch.
Yeah. Hannah, do you have a favorite kill?
Oof.
Hannah?
I don't know. I want to talk about this one. It's not necessarily a kill, but the hallucinations that he has when he's in the hotel room, like that scene is like that whole part is one of my favorite parts.
Okay.
Because it's just so gross but it's so real.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's probably what it really feels like to go through withdrawals and if you're really addicted to something and like him just being pressed up against that radiator and he's just like vomits just uncontrollably coming out of his mouth. And then but Elmer gives him these hallucinations and his ear just starts leaking blood and then it like falls off and then like all this blood just starts squirting out of it. And he's just like screaming. Yeah, I love that. I had forgotten about that part. And oh my gosh, when I watched it again I loved that. I love anything that has just like over the top amounts of blood. Like
I can see why I like Dead Alive a lot.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. I mean, like I said, it's not really a kill, but just one of the more graphic. Yeah, one of the more graphic scenes. But I got to go with Anna and what you guys were saying too. That BJ scene, that's probably the best kill out of the whole. There's a bathroom scene where that's a pretty good kill too. That reminded me of Night of the Creeps also.
Yes, when they were going in their heads, that's what I was thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, when Brian walks into that bathroom at the gym, and you got Lou Ferrigno in there just stoping up. And it's fine. It's whatever. Bare ass. That's what you do in the shower. Cool. No big deal. I thought Elmo was about to jump on that. But no, he went for someone in a more vulnerable state. Yeah. Someone who was taking a shit and he goes, "Well, I guess I'll go after him." Dude, it was fucking good. And you see this shit just flying everywhere, man. And nobody I love how Brian's constantly looking at the doors, making sure no one's fucking walking in.
I know.
Yeah, that was tight.
Oh yeah, man.
That was some good shit.
Out.
There's so many good parts in this film, and to kind of go back and touch on the hotel scene with him and going through his detox and just trying to kick it. I agree. I think that's probably one of the best scenes in the movie of really showing what it's like for somebody to kick something and especially doing it themselves without really telling everybody, because Brian's not really saying anything to his girlfriend or who he's living with. Yeah. And how are you going to go about and say, I have an alien attached to my head that is giving me drugs and I'm going to a hotel to get rid of it? How do you go about saying that to somebody? I don't think you can walk into a facility and be like, "Can you help me kick this alien?"
Yeah.
It's insane.
Look, I got this bad habit and I have a second voice talking in my head. It's literally an alien.
Yes. It also makes me see a lot of blue.
Yeah, some fluorescent fucking colors. But the part that got me good, and I actually just made that clip of it and I sent it to all you guys, is when Brian's girlfriend and roommate are in the house. They're talking about all the new locks Brian's installed and all that. And it cuts over to Brian in the bathtub. Dude, so they're just fucking playing with the water, and you see Elmer pop up.
Yeah.
That scream was so fucking funny, dude. That shit had me rolling. Like, it was funny as fuck, dude. And then that's when it leads into the dinner scene, and that's when we kind of start seeing him fiending for what he needs, because he was just starving for his food.
Yeah.
Looks down at his plate, sees that bowl of brains, and then gets up and immediately, like, his girl's like, listen, if you want to see different people, just fucking tell me. And like, they're on the verge of breaking up already, so it's like he just gets up and dips, and which sets up later for a scene that he walks in on, which is pretty shitty of his ex and his roommate at the same time.
Yep.
And dude, when he's in the alley and you see that the homeless man out there just pounding that bottle of booze, that's when you kind of like acknowledge the fact that he's starting to, become addicted to what Elmer's, providing, because he eventually he starts getting it without asking for it at that point.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But dude, that bathtub scene was fucking good, man.
Yeah, there's so many good parts in this film. Even like going towards the end where you get reunited with the old man from the beginning of the film. He's like, I need him back. Give him back to me,
Give me my fucking Elmer.
And he's like all fucked up. His face is all fucked up. And then, you have the whole fight that goes down. And then you start seeing the real downfall of Brian, with his head starting to be all morphed into craziness and be like, yep, he's definitely gone way too far. And it's such a ride, this movie. It's you can't just pick one scene and describe it to somebody and them to be like, oh, I get it. You have to watch this movie to like really understand it.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, then like I didn't know this was the same guy that did Basket Case.
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting here watching this and they're on the train,
yeah,
and Dwayne walked on the train, I was like, wait, I know him.
Yep. It's all
and you just see the basket, and I'm like, I know that basket. Dude, imagine if fucking Elmer and Belial were like buddy cops.
I think there was something that was going to happen that Frank, I think, wanted to do something with that, but the studios would not allow him to do it. He did want to do like a big crossover of some of his movies, but it never happened.
So you have Elmer walking up and he goes, I'm putting together a team. He's fucking putting together the Avengers?
Yeah. Well, did you see Beverly Bonner's in this too? She does this little cameo at the beginning, and she was in Basket Case too. Oh.
What else did he create?
She was great in Basket Case. I loved her.
Frankenhooker is another really big one.
Just bringing Frankenhooker. You want a date?
I think Elmer and Frankenhooker, they could have been a great partnership.
Dude, that could have been. Just imagine that being a fucking Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, taking over New York, literally.
Yeah.
Man, that would be great.
But that's when he finally confesses what's been going on. Like, 'cause his girlfriend like follows him to the train station, gets on the train, and she's like, "All right, you need to tell me what the fuck's up." And he finally does. And when we get the CGI Elmer, popping in and out of his mouth, like I didn't know Elmer was inside him though.
Yeah, he goes into his spine, I think. Like in the back of his head.
Attached to his neck, but. Dude, when he's in there, he makes out with his girl, like Elmer slides right in. Yeah. I feel like that'd be a deal you'd make with him. Like, hey, I'll give you whoever, just do not touch her.
That scene's tough, man, because it's like, I don't think anybody watching this is like, yeah, I want her to die, to go through this stuff, because you're like, oh, this character, like, he's been through a lot of stuff. Obviously, you're dealing with, cheating on your boyfriend who is not really your boyfriend, but you want him to be your boyfriend because he's going through something, and then you're going to be killed by the thing that he's going through. It's so crazy.
Yeah. And it's also too like her and the roommate, they're not like, we don't really get enough time with them. Yeah. So at the end, it's just kind of like meh, give or take. I think it hurts more with her because she really did try to find him, to be present, get him to talk to her, figure out what was going on, and he just wasn't having it. So, I mean, she's still kind of, like I said, give or take whether she dies or not. But I feel like we care a little bit more about her than we do the roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just fucks off. Like after, he's caught, whatever, like up until the very end, because he has to be there because someone has to be at the apartment. But we all kind of forgot to mention Elmer has a musical number.
Yes, he does.
In this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
He fucking sings
great.
a little ditty in this, dude, and not ditty, sorry. He sings.
I'll erase that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He hits us with that musical, and it was god damn it, dude. Like, Hannah, I am so happy you picked this movie.
Hell yeah, man.
Because like I said, I'm gonna have to hunt it down. I want to buy it.
Such a winner.
Yeah, I do too. Now that you mentioned that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I just had, how fun would it be for horror parents who have a little toddler to dress them up like an Elmer one year?
Yeah.
Like a homemade costume.
I do have
Man, that was a missed
almost
opportunity.
7-year-old.
I should've watched this movie like 6 years ago.
That
It
is
would have
kind of
to be
cute. I
like-
never thought of that. I should have Logan dress up as Elmer now.
Or he can dress up like
do
Brian.
it.
You could do it as like Brian, and you can create the little Elmer like sticking up.
Or
Out
I'll
here,
be
you know?
Brian and he can be my Elmer.
There you go. Just carry him around on your neck all night.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I have to bank that one for next year. That's good.
Yeah.
So
So
isn't the guy that's living with him? That's his brother, right?
That's what I thought too. Yeah, he does say his
Yeah.
brother. He mentions it.
I think
that
so.
makes it even more shitty.
But
I
like,
know, right?
But I just feel like his brother. Yeah, he didn't.
it doesn't seem like it at
didn't
all. He doesn't
really
give a shit.
check on him enough and stuff. I don't know. He didn't seem to really care about him
No.
enough.
And like,
And then he has he's after the girlfriend the whole time. Like
Yeah.
you can tell at the very beginning, like he has a thing. He even says, "You know how I feel about you."
Yeah.
So there's obviously a history there, and he's liked her for a while, but she chose Brian, and but yeah, and then he is laying there while they are having sex in the next room, and he is
Listening.
listening to it, and then he's having hallucinations that he's like joining them, and he starts like eating his girlfriend's brain. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved that.
yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I love when like he walks in. He walks
I didn't really
in.
feel sorry. I didn't really feel sorry for her.
No, dude, he walks into the room and they're like, "It's not what you think."
What do you mean?
What is it then?
Yeah, explain it then. I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
know. So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
then he actually warns them. He's like, "Y'all got to get out of here. He's
Yeah.
gonna get hungry again."
And
Yeah.
I think the brother / roommate character, I think, ties into real life too, and probably what Frank was dealing with. Like when you're, I don't know, part of being an addict or there's something going on in your life and you try to reach out to people and they just kind of like don't care or don't want to put the time forth. I think that was him kind of being like, this is how I felt with people around me. Like they knew that I was struggling with something and they just didn't care. So I think that's probably why we don't really give a shit about this character or really get too much time. But yeah, I don't care if he's like his brother or if he's his roommate. Like he just sucks.
Yeah.
And he should have been killed first, in my opinion.
He should have gotten killed and not the girlfriend. But
Agreed,
I don't think he would have made out with Mike.
No.
Who knows?
Oh, that's true too. Who knows? But I dug the ending. How when there's that confrontation between the old man and Brian.
Yeah.
Dude, that old man grabs Elmer, just fucking squeezes him like a tube of toothpaste, and pops him, dude. I loved it. But with doing that, pumped Brian full of his fucking fluids, dude. You see his head bulging and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was sick.
Overdosing.
Yeah.
And at first, I was a little upset when he killed him that way because I'm like, so you're telling me this is how you kill Elmer after all this time. But I was thinking about it, and nobody wanted to kill him because everybody wanted the juice.
Yeah.
So I think the
Go
old
on.
man was just the old man was just at his, he already knew he was going to die because he's missing half of his head because Elmer sucked some of his brains out. I don't even know how he's standing or doing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he just already knew he was going to die. So he was like, this needs to come to an end.
Yeah.
But and then ultimately Brian ends up blasting his head off, and it's just like this bright light in his head.
So good.
That was so cool.
So good as a beacon. And I wouldn't have been surprised if that summoned another Elmer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
an Elmer from space seen the beacon, and that's when he knows.
Person in the world.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my god, dude! No, this movie was a fucking treat. Yes. It was a goddamn treat.
It was.
Yeah. I'm so happy you guys liked it.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm ecstatic.
So, did you guys by chance rate it on Letterboxd?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I haven't yet. I try to wait till after I record, but then it ends up biting me in the ass sometimes.
I'm bad. I have a Letterboxd, but I don't use. Anna's gotten on to me. I need to use it.
Rate it real quick.
I can tell you mine.
Yeah, Dustin. We're gonna start with you. So, guys, what we do is we just talk about how we would rate it out of 1 to 5. Dustin has a personal scale as well from 1 to 10. So, Dustin, hit us with your Letterboxd and personal ratings.
Yes, so you guys know I've seen this quite a few times, and every time I watch it, I have a blast. So, of course, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 and a 10 out of 10. Like
5 Elmers.
Like, there's absolutely no way this can go any lower. This is Frank Henenlotter at his best. Like, I don't think it could get any better than this. Like, yeah, you got your basket cases, you got your Frankenhookers and all that stuff, but this is, for being so personal with him and how everything lays out, there's not like one dull moment in here where you're like, oh my god, like, can something else happen? It's constant, just like, what is Brian gonna do now? What is Elmer gonna be doing? It's like a constant, like, I want to see what happens, not waiting around. So yeah, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Hell yeah.
There we go. Hannah, let's hear your out of 5, how many Elmers would you give this movie?
I'm gonna go 4.8 Elmers out of 5.
Okay.
There you go.
Elmers. I'm gonna dock it just a little. Some of the acting in it is just a little cheesy, but that's also just
it's an 80s horror movie.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry. I just a little, just a little. But other than that, this movie absolutely amazing. It's everything I could ask for in a horror comedy, and plus, and sometimes I know with horror comedy, sometimes the story can kind of get lost in the slapstickiness of it. But I mean, this isn't. I mean, some of it I guess could be considered slapsticky, but not really. But yeah, the story in this is just, it's amazing, and it's a great, like we've talked about, it's a great analogy for addiction. And to know that it's based on the director's own, his own fight with addiction and cocaine, that's awesome. And for him to be able to make such a great movie with such a creative, just everything creative, the characters, of course, not some of them, like the roommate brother and the girlfriend, but Brian is a great character. Elmer is a great character. Even the old man and the old woman, like the setup of that was great. Mm-hmm. Everything about this movie, it's amazing. The kills are great. The gore is fantastic. 4.8 out of 5. The only reason I'm docking it a little is just a little bit of cheesy acting. But other than that, great. You have to watch it if you have not watched this movie.
Yes. 100%.
Hell yeah. Anna, how many Elmers are you giving this movie?
4 out of 5. And a heart on Letterboxd.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this was great. This was a gem. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm glad. See, Dustin, you were talking about going back and kind of revisiting stuff you reviewed early on. We've been saying for a while now, we need to go back and review Dead Alive and Silver Bullet. Yeah. Silver Bullet was the first movie we ever covered on the show. And it's one of my favorite. I think it ties with London for my favorite werewolf movie because I grew up with it. It's so great, but I feel like we were so green that I don't think we gave it the review it deserved. And at the time I watched Dead Alive, I was just like, I can't.
You wanted about
too much for me. And I gave it like
didn't you rate it? Didn't you rate it like 3 out of 5?
I gave it a 2. And I haven't gone lower than that until Predators 4. Buzz, what are you doing? But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I mean, not to go dark or anything like that, but if you listen to our podcast, more specifically our Shining miniseries review, I talk a little bit about how I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean over 5 years.
Wow.
So I saw the parallels instantly. I was like, hell, boy, I know how that feels. That shit sucks. So it was really cool. That's what I like about like Cronenberg kind of movies and body horror in general.
Cronenberg.
Yeah. Oh God, not you too. You can't.
Now we're gonna go and do a whole month of Cronenberg movies just because you said that.
Yeah. And baby Cronenberg too. We love him as well.
Yes.
But that's what I love about those movies is that they can be so weird and crazy, but you just know what's going on. It's not too hard to understand. The metaphors are there, and you can see why the director did what they did. In this case, Frank Henenlotter. And honestly, kudos to him for having the balls to put something like that on film, because not everybody has the courage to talk about that kind of stuff. And what better place than an 80s horror movie? So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this was a real treat, a real gem. And I'll definitely watch it again and recommend it.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah. What about you, dude? How are you feeling on this?
So I gave it a 3.5 Elmers out of 5.
Okay.
But that's because it was a first time watch. I started watching it again, and I love it. I can't give something a 5 out of 5 unless I've seen it enough for me to fall in love with it.
Understandable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this movie is well up there, well on its way, because I want to buy it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go out of my way to find this movie on Blu-ray, and I view anything over a 3 for me on Letterboxd is something I will recommend to someone. Always.
Yeah.
So yes, 3.5 Elmers out of 5 Elmers for me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
So my question is, because I always like to ask this because it's such a stupid, silly question. We live in a world where everything loves to be remade. Would you want to see this one be remade?
We already got it. Slither, baby.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not the euphoric drug, but the same monster substance.
Yeah, under one condition, if Joe Lynch directed it.
Okay.
The guy who did Suitable Flesh. Yeah, he would be great.
Have you
That would be great.
Have you seen Chillerama?
No, but I've heard about it.
That's a Joe Lynch joint, and there's it's an anthology. So like they're at a drive-in theater, and it's the drive-in's last night open. So they're doing like a fucking marathon, and one of the movies is called Wadzilla. I will let you two put 2 and 2 together, and what that becomes, dude. But yeah, but I love Joe Lynch. You guys watch Holliston?
Mm-hmm.
Holliston? No, I don't think so. There's
Oh
something
my
else
God.
he did that I've seen that I liked.
Wrong Turn 2?
No.
Hell yeah.
I have seen that.
That was a Joe Lynch movie.
Was it?
Good one to direct
I
a
loved
remake.
the Wrong Turn movies when I was
The guy who
younger.
did Joseph Winter, who did Deadstream. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, I did too. She showed.
He might make it more comical, because I feel like, this is a horror comedy, but I feel like it's more serious than funny.
Now imagine this remake being found footage.
Oh, I think that might ruin it.
I don't think so. I think we get not Elmer's like how Deadstream was found footage, how he had a camera with him at all times facing him. So
like a streamer or something.
Yeah, not Elmer having a little bitty fucking camera, Dustin.
No, that's not what I'm thinking.
Elmer's got a GoPro.
Yeah.
It's all body cam footage.
It's all cops finding
I'll say
Elmer.
I would be happy.
It's cops?
I would be
like the show?
Yeah, sure. And it's just like a bunch of Elmer incidents. He just going
Oh
from
my
person
God,
to person.
Oh,
man.
We've instantly made that. Go ahead, Hannah. Go ahead.
She's dead.
I was just gonna say, if it didn't get remade, I would be happy. If it does get remade, I'll watch it. Like, of course, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this 88 one's not going to go anywhere if it gets remade.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, we'll still have this movie.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Now, is there anything in here that you guys would change, whether it be some of the acting you were saying, or added scenes, or people taken out? Like, how do you guys feel it stands on the finished product that's out there?
So this was like what, an hour and 25 minutes?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
Give me 5 more minutes, make it an even hour and a half, and let me see a little bit more. Like, I want to see, like, for sure what happens to Brian. You know, like, I just want to, I don't know, it just ended. I feel like that's one thing I would change, is that the ending seemed a little abrupt.
Need some closure.
And I needed like a few more minutes to be like, no, wait, what else happens? And to kind of wrap it up in a bow a little better. But I mean, it's not anything that would deter me from watching it again, obviously.
I think what should have changed, if I'm changing anything, it is going to be the ending. When Brian's head does explode, because there's so much Elmer juice in him, we should see a little Elmer pop out of that hole in his head.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's how they're born.
Yeah, exactly. It's like cracked an egg open and there's a little Elmer. Like,
oh yeah, and there's another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there was anything
that was gonna happen, honestly, and then it ended, and I was like, wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want a little more.
Then it tells you to go to a website to find out more about this haunted fucking church.
Oh man.
I hate that movie, The Devil Inside, so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
I have.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I know you've seen the cover. I'll show you the cover shortly.
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds familiar.
Hell yeah.
If there's anything that I would change, I would just completely take out that roommate character. I would just leave him, just have him be in the apartment by himself, and then have the girlfriend more involved.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's coming and knocking on the door constantly, and like maybe she stumbles upon Elmer, or
like
she
the fly.
like
in the fly.
Yes,
yeah.
And she like finds out about it and then gets attacked, and that would make me like care about her a little more. I just didn't care about her or the other, which I mean, I know, whatever, don't really have to, but I just feel like you could have done away with the brother and just had the girlfriend be more involved, and that, I think that would have been better.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Dustin, what about you, man? What would you change?
Me, man, I've seen this so many times, and like I've asked myself, is there anything that would really change? And I kind of like how it's not super perfect and that there's a lot of things in there. I'm happy with how the finished product, and like, the roommate character, like, definitely like a waste of time, I think, of trying to fill in scenes for him. So maybe that would be one thing I would change, is like take him out, or maybe, I don't know, add somebody else that's a little bit more interesting to fill that slot. But no, I'm pretty happy with how it is, and I think it's just a ride. And go watch this either on Screenbox or on Tubi. I know it was on Shudder, not sure if it still is. Or go seek it out for physical media like Dustin wants to do.
I got you.
Just go seek this out. Go watch it. I promise you're not going to be disappointed. And if you are, then you need to.
If you're disappointed, it's Hannah's fault.
Not us.
Oh, man. So, Anna and Hannah, we really appreciate you guys jumping on with us. Tell people what you guys do over on Cinema Slab podcast.
Hannah,
so we are just
Wait. We're gonna do a little segment here called "Let Her Explain."
There we go.
And Hannah, one of the longest-winded people I know, is gonna explain what they do over on Cinema Slab podcast in under 30 seconds. Let me get the timer started. Hannah, are you ready?
I gotta do any work.
Ready.
Timer?
Oh my gosh.
Go.
We are two best friends who just get together. We love it. We talk about movies. We just hang out, and we don't just cover horror, but it's very close to our heart. And we just talk about all sorts of movies, and we have a great time doing it. Boom! Boom! Stop it! Stop it!
I did.
Dude, you still had 13
time.
You still had time.
You beat your record.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You beat your record on another podcast.
So I've been an avid listener to these guys for a while now, and their show is great. They do horror. They just did a whole laugh till your gut bust comedy month.
Yeah.
And god damn it, it made me want to rewatch Big Daddy, but I did not do it because I'm tired of Adam Sandler.
Oh,
I feel that.
Cold, yeah. But he wipes his own ass.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, go check them out. What socials are you guys on?
We are at
we're
Cinema
on
Slab
Instagram.
Podcast.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
We are at Cinema Slab Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and we're also on the Facebooks. Just search Cinema Slab Podcast, and you will find us.
Hell yeah.
And we're available, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search us. We're out there.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Since Dustin told me about you guys and said that you've been on his show, I've started listening, and yeah, I think you guys are great. You're really fucking funny. And I'm really excited to have you guys on here and to give you a little bit more of a boost. Hopefully, that's always the intent over here of getting people to get a little bit more plays on their stuff, and also to learn what you guys like, and to know that you like fucked up funny shit. You guys are gonna be coming on even more. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And Dustin, we'll have to get you as well on the show too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What has it been like in the middle of this Dustin sandwich? I haven't even asked you yet.
Well, when you were inviting us on, you were like Dustin and the other Dustin, and then Anna and Hannah. I was like, this is a bit, but it's real life. Like you can't make this up.
Two Dustins and Anna.
When you guys do your intro, and you're like, "Hi, I'm Dustin," and then "Hi, I'm also Dustin."
It's so funny.
Great.
Well, it's weird because I've only known 4 Dustins in my entire life. And
Oh my gosh.
now I'm always around a Justin or Austin's.
Okay.
Always. I can never not go anywhere and there not be a Justin there.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So
Very common. Yeah.
Yeah. Dustin, what do we you want to talk about what we got cooking or?
Oh, I think we can announce it now. 'Cause I sent you everything the other day, and I just downloaded all the files. But my friend who does all the artwork for the show, for all the episodes we put out, Jason Miller, I had him go revamp a bunch of stuff and make it look really, really good. So we have some new art that's going to be coming out. Dustin put together a killer intro. So I think we're gonna be debuting all that on this episode. So when you guys see
this
it,
one?
yes, this one. So when you guys see it or you hear it, let us know down below what you guys think of it. If you like the art, if you like the intro, if it's too long, too short, give us some feedback. I want to know what you guys like and whatnot. But there's a lot of really cool shit that's happening, and I think we solidified that in October we're going to be reviewing all of the Halloween movies, and they're all going to be individual episodes. We were kind of playing around with the idea of doing all of them in one episode, but I was like, you know what? No, they need to have their own episodes, man.
Yeah,
it wouldn't do it justice trying to cram all that into one episode. I feel like we can do multiple episodes with. I'm just excited to talk about Busta Rhymes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
So yeah, we got a lot of really cool stuff coming out. This whole next month, I think, is going to be the busiest month for us. I know you're going to be going on vacation as well, so we're getting a lot of stuff together for you guys. And thank you for listening. Thank you for the people who want to come on and talk with us. It's always a blast to have people on here and, like I said, learn what they like and just kind of talk about it. But that's what we got going on, and you guys can support us on Patreon or find us in any of the places you listen to podcasts, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, any of that stuff. And go check out Dustin's shows too, Be Action and Flicks and Friends. There's so much shit. There's so much shit out there, and you'll find something that you like. And hopefully you guys like this show and you like this movie and you go check out the girls. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So thank you guys.
Yep. Later.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll see you guys on the next one.